Hey folks, welcome to this weird and funny story, ready to laugh your socks off. The employer excitedly grabbed the lowing shovel, hit the tombstone, chanting, "Break tomb, lowing shovel, break tomb." 5 men started digging the grave. With each scoop, Hewling scratched the pig like a rapid scratcho. As the ceremony proceeded, the grave was uncovered, and soon the coffin appeared like magic, ending Hewling's mission. Feng Master Lao Gao continued the happy family case. Jumping, he felt to freezer-like chill. After careful inspection, he found out that the coffin was made from cedar, showing once again that today's employer is a real man of bags, worthy of royal materials. After putting the coffin in the car, Lao Gao tossed the coin in and told the cremator, "Burn it quick, it's the employer's order." The cremator confidently boasted, "Don't worry, I've served the president before, in foolproof." When suddenly, an awesome surprise appeared, a gravedigger hoping to cash in on a pot of gold. As expected, he dug up nothing but a small snake, hacked it to bits in rage, and got a solo from it. Trouble arose as the sky darkened abruptly, like in a climate horror, then rain poured down. Lao Gao quickly realized the issue and told the employer, "If we wait for the rain to stop, the deceased may face a reincarnation queue." So, they temporarily stored the coffin at a nearby hospital morgue. After employer approval, the cremator reached out to an old friend there. With superpowers, the coffin smoothly entered the morgue. The friend kindly suggested, "Have hot soup to warm up." As soon as the cremator left, the friend turned back, realizing this coffin was a true treasure, and began prying it open, like he was unlocking an object. Suddenly, a deafening noise startled Hewling as if she had just triggered a shock bomb. Luckily, she quickly came to her senses. The confused Lei Bixen told Lao Gao, "This is an ancient artifact buried for nearly a century, housing the late patriarch of the Park family." After weathering many storms since the patriarch's demise, the Park family faced a series of dark clouds, prompting them to call in a Feng Shui master and a shaman to break the curse. After deliberation, they chose to dig up and burn, perhaps the sole way to lift the curse. Everything seemed to go smoothly until, surprise, the skeleton launched a counterattack. The old patriarch's ghost emerged laughing uncontrollably. Subtitles. His very first stop turned out to be the poor elder son, who had been paralyzed for numerous years. The fear he experienced when hearing his father's summons was truly beyond words. As a shaman, Hewling whipped out her ghost-evoking tricks, tying up her assistant while instructing the cremator to hold tight, gearing up for battle. Subtitle. Hewling's chant quickened. The assistant got into a role, making everything suddenly chaotic. Just as everyone held their breath, the assistant's gaze turned dangerous. "Wait a minute. Weren't we supposed to discuss this with Hewling calmly?" The assistant began to smile a little too weirdly, then plopped down, proving that the ghost had indeed left him, returning to normal. Meanwhile, Mr. Park got a call from Lao Gao, a survival call, telling him not to move. Just then, a voice outside called for Mr. Park to open the door, a moment of pure panic. Mr. Park was shocked, asking Lao Gao if he was outside, as the handle shook wildly. Lao Gao told him to stand by the window, not be fooled by those outside, but he couldn't help it and opened it. The outside knocking stopped instantly. When Lao Gao arrived, Mr. Park raised his right hand, rapping rapidly like a freestyler. Panicked, Lao Gao swiftly called an ambulance. The heavy rain outside heightened the urgency, and Hewling resolutely opted for immediate cremation. After vomiting, Mr. Park stayed silent, like post-BFS, and guzzled water. Then Mr. Park's head spun 360 degrees, cracking like a weird show. At the hospital, Mr. Park's son was quiet for a while. Mom called but got no answer, so she left him with the nurse. What bad luck! She rushed home, unaware that tragedy was looming. The coffin reached the crematorium, and problems emerged. Without the family's verbal consent, the crematorium personnel were too scared to proceed. Lao Gao called Mr. Park's official line, but there was still no answer. At that very moment, on the hospital bed, a creepy and huge hand was gradually approaching the child, who then started wailing loudly, "This is really, seriously bad news." Finally, the official approval came through, and with the furnace roaring to life, the hand hovering over the child finally, everyone thought it was all clear, but Lao Gao received an emergency call for help. He ran to an awakened man's home, on the verge of collapse, muttering, "We shouldn't have killed that snake." Lao Gao sensed trouble and returned to the previous grave site, where the foxes were still lounging around. He jumped down to dig, only to suddenly uncover the head of the little snake, which bore the face of a woman, leaving Lao Gao utterly stunned. Then he found something more astounding, another coffin at the grave's bottom. Lao Gao asked in shock, "Ever seen a coffin with a tree pillar? Bound tightly by iron chains. What spirit is this?" Advised by a Feng Shui master, the four tossed the coffin out. The foxes near the grave fled, and on the return, everyone shared a knowing look, clearly sensing the coffin was unusual. Lao Gao knew the temple monk who helped them place the coffin in the storeroom. The monk stared at the huge coffin, almost blurting out. Hearing asked the monk for glutinous rice. The assistant got horse's blood from the car, creating a special seal for the coffin. Mr. Park's aunt was called as the coffin lay in his father's grave, hoping she'd reveal the truth. The old lady, however, claimed she knew nothing, and Jisin, a monk, had chosen the grave. This made Lao Gao can't help but sigh with emotion. Who exactly possessed such keen insight to choose this location in a remote wilderness? Subtitle, finally, and unveiled the secret. Her father was a seven-day traitor, and the monk a Japanese who knew Korea.